the heart of Lagos, where the lagoon breathes beneath wooden stilts, lies Makoko, the city that floats. Here, the morning mist rises like incense, and the smell of smoke, salt, and survival fills the air. Boats glide between narrow alleys of water, children paddle with sticks, women fry fish over open flames. Life here does not stand still. It moves, it sways, it endures. Amara was born here, the daughter of a fisherman and a market woman, two souls who taught her that even on water, roots can grow. She was 19, bright-eyed, with skin kissed by the sun, and a laugh that broke through hardship like dawn breaking through fog. Each night, after selling smoked fish at the floating market, she would sit by her canoe, staring at the silver reflection of the moon. She often whispered, "Maybe, one day, this water will carry me to a better tomorrow." Then, fate arrived, not in a dream, not in a prophecy, but in a boat that nearly capsized. A young man, tall, uncertain, wearing glasses and holding a camera, struggled to keep balance. His canoe rocked wildly until Amara reached out, steadying him with a laugh. "Amara, you mainland people don't know how to stand on water." Tunde, breathing heavily. "And you water people don't warn us it's this slippery." Amara, laughing, "Maybe you need a teacher." Tunde, "Then, maybe I've found one." Soft laughter echoes, followed by a gentle chorus string melody. That was how they met, the girl who belonged to the water and the boy who came from the land. He was Tunde, a final-year architecture student from the University of Lagos. He came to Makoko to study its floating structures, but what he found instead was a girl who made even the tides feel still. He visited often. He said he came for his research, but the children knew better. Whenever his boat appeared, they would whisper and giggle. "Amara's visitor has come." Their friendship grew between laughter and learning. He would sketch the wooden houses while she taught him how to paddle. He told her stories of city lights, skyscrapers, and places where water stayed inside pipes, not under homes. She told him of the moon, the silent witness of Makoko, and how lovers made promises beneath its glow. But soon, laughter turned to longing. Eyes lingered longer, words became softer. And though Makoko had seen many tides, it had never seen love like this, fragile yet fierce, gentle yet defiant. Yet even love born of destiny must face the storms of reality. Till Amara's heart refused to listen. Love had built a house in her soul, one even her father's fears could not flood. Meanwhile, on the mainland, Tunde's mother, Madame Abike, was also growing restless. She had heard rumors, her son spending time in that place on water. When Tunde returned home one evening, she confronted him. Madame Abike, "Tunde, where have you been spending your time?" Tunde, "I told you, Mama, I'm studying Makoko for my final project." Madame Abike, sternly, "And who is the girl they say you're always with?" "A fish seller, a girl without background." Tunde, angry, "She has more heart than anyone I've ever met." Madame Abike, "Heart doesn't feed a home, my son. You are from a family of dignity. Don't throw it into the water." Tunde left that night without a word. His heart was torn between his mother's pride and the girl whose laughter had become his peace. Weeks passed. Whispers filled Makoko. Some said the city boy would never return. Others said Amara had cursed herself by falling for him. But one evening, when the sky burned orange and the water shimmered like melted gold, he returned. He brought her a small box wrapped in paper. Inside was a silver pendant shaped like a moon. "Tunde, so even when I'm gone, you'll never forget who you are beneath its light." Amara, tearful, "Why would you talk like you're leaving?" Tunde, "Because my final exams are near, and after that, I might have to travel for further studies." Amara, "And what about us? Tunde, touching her cheek. "We are not a place, Amara. We are a promise." That night, they sat by the lagoon in silence, their hands entwined. The moon watched over them, a silent witness to a love the world was too small to contain. But love, no matter how pure, cannot escape the tides of life. The same water that carried their laughter would soon carry their tears. The rainy season came early that year. The clouds hung low over Makoko, and the waters rose higher than they had in years. Tunde's canoe had not been seen for weeks, and each day Amara waited by the shore, her eyes fixed on the horizon, her heart whispering prayers only heaven could hear. Then one evening, as the rain poured and lightning split the sky, a boat appeared. It was Tunde, drenched, breathless, desperate. Tunde, "Amara! I couldn't leave without seeing you." Amara, running to him. "You came back. I thought..." Tunde, "They're sending me abroad, Amara, for my master's degree. I tried to refuse, but my mother, she believes this is the only way for me to become something." Amara, "And what about what we've already become?" Tunde, softly, "You are the best thing that ever happened to me, but I don't have a choice." Silence hung between them, heavy, aching, and raw. Amara's tears blended with the rain. He held her close, his heartbeat loud against hers. Amara, "Then promise me, Tunde. Promise me this isn't goodbye." Tunde, "I promise. When I return, I'll come for you, no matter how long it takes." He slipped the silver pendant back into her hand. The same moon hung above them, pale and watching, as though it too pitied them. The music shifts. Strings and slow chora melody merge into a bittersweet tone. That night, his boat disappeared into the darkness, swallowed by rain and distance, and Amara stood in the water until dawn, holding the pendant against her chest, whispering to the moon, "Let the tides bring him back to me." Makoko changed little, but Amara did. She learned to heal wounds and deliver babies. She became known as Nurse Amara of the waters. People came to her with fever, with fear, with faith. But at night, when the lagoon grew still, she would sit by her window, clutching that pendant, and listen, hoping to hear the sound of his paddle cutting through the water once more. Her father grew old. Time took her mother. And though she smiled for others, there was an emptiness that no sunrise could fill. Neighbors whispered, "The boy has forgotten her. City men don't return. Love is not for people like us." But she refused to let bitterness drown her. Every night, she lit a lantern by the shore, a quiet signal to the man who once said he'd return. Years passed. The world moved on, and then, one night, something changed. The air grew heavy, the water calm. Children ran through the alleys shouting, "A big boat is coming! A rich man's boat!" Amara looked up. A sleek speedboat cut through the water, stopping near her dock. A tall man stepped out, wearing white, his face half hidden by the glow of lanterns. "Man, is this..." Amara's house. Amara, hesitant. "Who's asking?" Man, softly. "Someone who once made a promise beneath the moon." Her breath caught. The pendant slipped from her hand and landed in the water, yet somehow she didn't need it anymore. Amara, "Tunde?" Tunde, smiling, teary-eyed. "I told you, Amara, I'd come back." He looked older, stronger, dressed like a man who had wrestled with time and won. But his eyes, they were the same eyes that once saw beauty in the chaos of Makoko. He opened a case. Inside were blueprints and sketches. "Tunde, I came to build what we dreamed of, homes that float, that don't sink when life floods." I named the project Amara's Haven. Her hands trembled. For a moment, the years dissolved. They were just two hearts, still beating the same rhythm beneath the same moon. Amara, you remembered. Tunde, how could I forget the woman who taught me that even water has roots? They stood by the lagoon, staring at the moonlit water. No words could capture what time had done. The pain, the waiting, the miracle of reunion. But love had found its way home. Some loves do not drown, they learn to float, and when destiny chooses, even the longest separation becomes a bridge back to the heart. The news of Tunde's return spread through Makoko like the morning tide. Children chased his boat, laughing. Women waved from their windows, and the elders, even they smiled, whispering, "The boy from the land has come back to the water." For the first time in years, Amara felt the weight in her chest lift. Still, she carried herself with quiet grace, unsure if the love they'd once shared could survive all that time had taken. Over the following months, Tunde worked tirelessly. The floating clinic, Amara's haven, began to take shape. Children ran along the wooden planks, pointing in awe at the rising structure. For them, it was just a building. For Tunde and Amara, it was a promise resurrected. One evening, as the sun sank beyond the horizon and the workers departed, he found her sitting by the dock, the same place where it all began. The silver pendant hung around her neck once again, glinting in the soft light. "Tunde, do you still come here every night?" Amara, smiling. "Some habits never drown." Tunde, "And some promises never break." Amara, "It wasn't easy, you know. Waiting, hoping. Every time I heard a boat, I thought it was you." Tunde, sighs. "I know. I wanted to return sooner, but I needed to become the kind of man who could build what I promised you, not just with words, but with my hands." Amara, softly, "And now you've built a dream." Tunde, looking at her, "No, Amara, you are the dream." That night, the village gathered for the opening of the clinic. Drums rolled, children danced, and the moon itself seemed brighter than usual, almost as if the heavens were smiling. Tunde stood before the people, his voice trembling as he spoke. "This building is not mine alone. It belongs to Makoko, to every mother who has prayed for healing, to every child who has slept hungry, to every man who believed that even on water we can stand tall. And it is named after the woman who taught me that love, like water, can carry us, if only we stop fighting its current." He turned to Amara, eyes glistening. The drums grew silent. Even the wind seemed to pause. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small ring, carved from seashell and silver. "Tunde, Amara, you once told me you wanted to heal people. But you healed me long before you became a nurse. You showed me that the greatest architecture is not built with wood or steel. It's built with love. So tonight, beneath this same moon that watched us grow, separate, and find our way home, will you let me build forever with you?" Amara's eyes filled with tears. She nodded slowly, unable to speak. The crowd erupted in applause. Drums thundered again, this time not for celebration of a building, but of a love reborn. She took his hand, and together they faced the moon. The same moon that once saw their heartbreak now witnessed their beginning anew. Some love stories are not written on paper. They are written on water, where every wave remembers a promise, and every moonrise repeats it. Beneath the moon of Makoko, two hearts learn that true love does not sink. It floats, it fights, and when destiny calls, it always finds its way home.